Everybody loves somebody sometimes. And we were talking about true feminine, true masculine. Okay, so that's from our short. Anybody who's new, welcome. I'm going to get to just chit chat about our lovely, how can I break it down? The feminine is a nurturer, and the masculine is, I'm going to say, the one who we know will be able to set things straight in a certain way. For now, that's how we're going to do it. It's not based on genders. Okay, so everybody loves somebody sometime. That's where we are also always in the right place. So that safe space, you will know it because you're an integrated brain, potentially person, means you have a body that's your home and a mind that's your home. Okay, so self-help, personal development, any true spirituality journey involves a life of meaning, connection beyond the soul self. And here we do the human love narrative, so we don't do that anyone is broken or that suffering is a must. No, no. You actually have what's called an emotional plane, your inner world, your mental plane. You get to work with it. It's called I have a sense of self. My name's Maria, and you know your lens, and so you're working with a good therapist, and or you have already done the good therapy, and or you welcome emotions and their laundry. So with that, a true feminine is a balanced feminine with their own masculine, and then they know what a true masculine is. So we know that we are wherever we're meant to be. And in fact, the feminine consistently knows that all parts of a puzzle play a role. There's no special keys. So we are alone, but we are a togetherness. And like Dr. Daniel Siegel shares, we can become a world of secure attachment to people and get out of this disorganized attachment world that we see out there, which is where everybody is basically those imbalanced masculines and feminines. They're not bringing us together. They're bringing people into in groups and out groups. And so here's where the moment you like or dislike something, you cannot see it the way it is. Thank you, Sadhguru. 14-month-old babies, when they are presented with a teddy bear that likes the same cereal they like, they will play nice with that teddy bear. While the teddy bear that likes the cereal that the baby doesn't like, they will play hostile and they will not really want to play with that teddy bear. And so our ancestors have this in-out group thing, but with knowledge comes empowerment. And with knowledge as grown-ups, those who are functional adults say, oh, okay, cool. I'm not going to have my likes or dislikes determine anything. I'm not going to have my, I don't like this. So politically, religiously, spiritually, any of those topics, I'm not going to etch in stone that if you're using a word that I don't like, I'm going to start insulting you. Anyone? Okay, so when you do see people who are not knowing how to talk about differences, politics, religion, lifestyle, sexual preferences, love preferences, all that. Okay, so here's where a feminine's highest calling, we have a lovely Cherokee proverb, but I'm going to modify it so that we get rid of the gender specific and we hone in on the energetic. A feminine's highest calling is to lead a masculine to their soul so as to unite them with source. Source you can call source spirit, source, dark matter, dark energy. You can use God. I'm sure most people will not necessarily want to, but we do love God. I know I love God, but I know some people want God to be basically a monster. That's how they're describing it whenever they go against all these other people who are my brothers and sisters. I mean, Jesus showed me really well how to walk with all people. So somewhere everything else basically got lost. But I must say, institutions, identity, stone, and you know what rigidity is? Yeah. So when people have a rigid way of thinking, it's the adaptive child behavior. It's a person who's in their safety behavior. They're non-bilaterally integrated. So they're right mode with all their child stuff. They're not like, oh, I have an inner child. No, they have what is perfectionism and unforgivingness. Because see, like Terry Real shares, the adaptive child is the child part, is a child's idea of a grown-up. So it's perfectionist and unforgiving. And you'll see it. They're the ones that have low self-esteem and direct communication, passive-aggressive. They don't know healthy boundaries at all. They'll block you, cancel you, insult you. They'll call you names. They'll say you sold your soul to the devil type stuff too. Then they're going to go around and be hypocrites, stuff like that. Well, to Pachas at least, not to Cusco's, obviously. So again, as I was saying, the feminine's highest calling is to lead the masculine to their soul so as to unite them with source. The lowest calling is to seduce them, separating them from the soul and leaving them aimlessly wandering. So when I see, yeah, the imbalanced feminines, I notice who they are. The masculine's highest calling is to protect feminine, so as they can walk the earth unharmed, freely. And the masculine's lowest calling is to ambush and force their way into the life of a feminine. Okay, so our world is definitely a place that doesn't accept differences easily. I'm a solo polyamory 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group. I mean, we got Zen masters saying that we can't be in enlightenment because we got laundry. We got people saying polyamory are unfaithful because they cannot love more than one person. They don't know about Stephen Porges and how love is always on for every one of us who has secure attachment. They don't know, in fact, how it is to live a life in the absence of a shame button. I don't have a shame button. I have a love button. So they know likes or dislikes based on a brokenness that is within their own 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old that didn't get unconditionally loved, and so they actually lost. So masculines that are imbalanced as well as feminines, they have lost their way because they lost that something that was stolen, from their soul that was sacred. It's called you didn't get secure attachment, and then somewhere you got a trust break maybe with humans too, and that's where shame, blame, fault, revenge. So if you have unresolved trauma and you're projecting it everywhere and anywhere, it's called a lot of people on Elsa's journey. They're on step 4 with the trust break, and they're looking for bystanders to come take their side so they can heal. We don't need that. What we do here is, wow, we have emotions. Self-help. Cool. Spiritual life, self-help. Cool again. It's not about it being connected to anything that needs an in or out group. It's, oh, I have a life, and it's a solo self with another self. Oh, look, I have meaning together. So we get to expand, going with the flow. And here's why everybody loves somebody sometime. A feminine will know a masculine. A true feminine will know that a true masculine has their own feminine, so their inner child's out to play. And they have healthy self-worth, so they're empowered to be who they are. They know what they want to do in life. They are looking to humanity, knowing we're in a time of change. And the feminine knows that for masculines, sometimes there can be a sense of loss inside, and so we support them to find their way back home to their inner child. Okay, so any feminine is going to consistently be a nurturer of all people because every single human being has a feminine side. And that's the inner child of yours. So with a person like me, I'm an attachment trauma informed, spiritual life coach, self-help. I know every child that walks the planet could become their whole self thanks to the great therapists that are out there. And then for those who want to do more, obviously, because some, they could just use that little stepping stone because they don't have trauma charges to the extent that affect them so deeply that they're still living a destabilized life. And so when we do find those who are completely destabilized, there's good therapists for that. And then some, they choose not to make their way over there. And there's a lot of different ways we'll look at into that in other episodes. But for this one, as we come to a close, again, everybody loves somebody sometime, and the masculine and feminine that find each other, they know that there's some places here together because they will complement. They will find themselves in a safe home, and that's first in their body. So you get to be yourself, I get to be myself. We collaborate with our lovely intellectually, emotionally, and physically stimulating brains, creating a better future, like ants collaborating. And we use our minds wisely. And you know what? This just made me think of something that I won't go and talk about as a political science major. Oh, I'm so humored with myself, not you all. The imbalances that I have seen out there with the masculines as well as the feminines, all I can tell you is, thank goodness, Dr. Daniel Siegel, you get chased down by people in hallways. I am so honored that your life partner gave you a lift when you almost lost hope because of the people who don't care about what they do. And she supported you to know, how about you make a difference? That's a life partner. That's a feminine and masculine that support each other. And as a collective say, together we can make a difference because our planet is a planet. It's a globe. The fact that people want to identify with only one country is, to me, I don't understand. You think you're going to lose yourself? You don't have a name. You can't lose yourself. You can't lose history. You can be a smart human being who understands what it means to be on a globe and get out of the let me use these boundaries that were drawn lines. That's imagination. So when you can empower with education, it's because you say, okay, some people, they have lost track of time effectively. And those imbalanced feminines, they're completely living a whole timeline of their own. And the ones who are instead in our 5D collective, we are here to support our lovely globe, our ecosystem, to accept differences, and to also be respectful and understanding when people think of polyamory as unfaithful, or and there's another word I read somewhere. Apparently, we're considered someone who's from faith, I guess. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't know. I mean, I had heard about us being considered masochists, but I'm like, really? Wow. Is that the only type of polyamory person you know? You must not know people who know of their sense of self. And that's because a sense of self person isn't going to be a masochist. They're going to know why they love more than one person in more than a friendship way. I mean, it's something I never thought that they would be considered. I can't find it. So, anyways, it's a word that is used by people who I mean, the lack of creativity of the brains of those who maintain the adaptive child behavior pattern is beyond a shadow of a doubt unstimulating and uninteresting. And it's not meaningful either because it's a word that means nothing to a person who knows how to have healthy sense of self-worth, which is not based on those who are a disgrace in my book. For the fact is, Jesus walked with all people. He opened his heart to all people. He shared, forgive, turn another cheek. He shared, but blessed are those who believe without seeing. People who think that using books to be, yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave it alone because there's no reason. My community knows what I'm talking about, and that's who this is for. A feminine and masculine who balance each other out, know exactly what they bring to each other. They know that they're always where they're meant to be. That's why we don't have a saga or drama, by the way, with our twin flames. The only ones who do are the ones who don't have a feminine with their own masculine. So there's a person and people who don't have their 0-1-year-old in the forefront. I have my 0-1-year-old. She's right here. So a true feminine, like a true masculine, will have, hey, here's my human name. Oh, look, I have all these child parts. Yeah, they're called emotions. Oh, look, I have thoughts. Oh, look, they're not irrefutable facts. Oh, look, I'm not a 14-month-old who's ruling with jackasses that are basically twisting words to their volition with a lot of rigidity, might I add. It's not fun to be in the 4D, 3D plane, so we're going to leave them alone. We'll be back with more, and thank you so much for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.